go ahead and get started, Chair.
So, first thing we have tonight is our budget hearing. So, this is just explanation of the budget, for this next school year. Actually next calendar year, the 2026 budget. So, just want to go through that real quick and then we'll join our regular board meeting as normally scheduled here. So, first of all, we have the budget calendar that I want to go over. September is where we hold a hearing and then we give a synopsis of the budget by the various funds, review of our capital projects and school bus replacement plans, and then in October is where we actually approve the budget. So tonight's just the presentation. October is where we go through the approval. And then November 2nd is the deadline for the budget, but we'll approve it in October, well before the November 2nd date. And then in December, towards the end of December, we'll get a response from the DLGF, that's the Department of Local Government Finance, and they will say that our budget is fine the way it's written, or they could cut our budget and say, we don't think you should have this much in education or this much in operations. So, and then we make adjustments based on that too. So, and we actually have 14 days after that to have a response, and then you implement your budget in 2026. So, in January, sorry. So first I want to go through the capital projects plan. The first two things we have here, they're things that are held over from the old budgeting process where we had, capital projects, fund. You had the bus replacement fund, you had transportation fund, you had all these different funds that are involved. And now we just have basic operations, and we have education, and we have debt service and rainy day. So just those four. So this is our capital projects plan. It's just an estimate. It's a rough guess of where we could see spending our money over on capital projects over the next 2 years. So building equipment of all buildings, we have $1.7 million. Technology equipment for the buildings, $1.5 million. And then safety equipment is $1.2 million. Did I say billion? Sorry, million, $1.2 million. So that's just a rough guesstimate of where we can spend our money. We don't have to hold to this. This is just an estimated numbers.
Well, and can you clarify, that's not like separate accounts, that's not set aside money?
It's not set aside, it's not in separate accounts. It's if we were going to pay for these things, it would be out of our operations accounts, but it's just the state's requiring us to do this because they required us to do it before when we had a capital projects fund. We don't have that anymore, so.
Right. They just have all the paperwork of the old funds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go into bus replacement. This is our bus replacement plan. This is another requirement that we have to do to the state. We've listed all of the buses that we own as a corporation here, and you can see that we don't plan to replace any buses in 2026, and in 2027, it's where we have to look to maybe start replacing one of our buses, bus 17, it's an older bus, and then 2028 is bus 18, 2029 is bus 19. The ones at the bottom there that you can see, the small yellow bus 20 and 21 are both large buses that we have that are fine. We don't have to look to replace those anytime soon. And then 22 and 23 are the buses we bought last year. So this is what our bus replacement plan is. If you go online and you look at this, you'll see it's written a little bit differently. I tried to put it as in bus numbers, so you could visually look and see these are the buses that we have, these are the ones we want to replace. So the first three are just the small white buses that we own. So, and right now we're not looking to add any buses because we feel like what we have right now is appropriate. But we would talk about doing a transportation department where we didn't have contracted drivers, then we would look at adding buses, but we're not there yet. So, and this is just an estimated plan that we have. So, again, not set in stone, don't have to follow it, but it just shows that this is what we're looking at over the next 5 years. Got it?
So just for a side note, because
Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah.
Are all of these buses up and functioning and running?
Yeah, they all are.
Thank you.
Yep, they all are. We want to go down into our rate history and look at our tax rate and what's happened over the last few years from 2020 on till now this year in 2026. If you can look off to the left-hand side here, you can see our AV, our assessed valuation here. You can see in 2020 we were at $299 million, dropped a little bit to $294 million the next year, and then after that it's steadily gone up through 2025 from 294 up to 415. This year, we're looking at an assessed value that's actually going to go down. It's going to drop this year. And I'll explain the anticipated and the advertised in just a minute. But our anticipated AV right now is $408 million, which is down from $415 million that we had last year. So that's going to have an impact on our rates. It's going to have an impact on the money that we're having. So you can kind of see that. And if you look at here, let's go through the debt service rates here. You can look that in 2024 we were at 0.175 in debt service. Last year we were at 0.27. That's because we had the bond that we issued. And next year we're looking at increasing that again to 0.39 because of the lease bond that we're going to issue. So that's why that's increasing there. We can look at our operations rates that are given there. You can see what's been done there. Steadily decreased over the last 5 years. So this year we're looking at, we have two line items, and we have 2 lines there. We have an advertised 2026 and an anticipated 2026. The reason why we have those is when we do the budget, we don't know what our assessed value is. So we want to put that assessed value low. So that will increase our rate because our levy is kind of set for us. That'll increase our rate to 0.539. The reason why you want to increase that rate is because after the AV is set, you can't raise it after that. You can't raise it before that. Once it's set, you can only lower the rate. So that's the reason why we advertised it at $365 million in our assessed value, knowing that it's probably going to be low. But we also, so that way we can set a rate of 0.539, and then when we get our AV back at $408 million, then we know that, okay, our operations will go down, our rate will go down to 0.4741. So that's kind of the explanation of why we have an advertised amount and the anticipated a little different than that. And then you can see off to the right, you can look at our total rate. This is just adding the debt service with our operations. And you can see it mirrors what we've talked about before with debt service, how it's steadily gone down. And then in 2025, it jumped back up to 0.73 from 0.65. And then next year, we're anticipating to be at 0.87. And again, this is because we have our lease bond rolling on. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. We can look at our ADM and probably think, why do we care about the number of students in the school? What does that have to do with our budget? Well, our general fund's set on, not a general fund, our education fund is set on the number of students. The number of students that we have dictates how much money we get in our education fund. So as you can see here in 2020, we were at 546 and we steadily increased until this year, 2025, we're going to go down a little bit. It looks like we're going to be down 10 students from where we were at this time last year. So that's going to have an impact on our amount of money we have in our education fund. So that amount of money we get will actually, it'll be decreased from if we would have maintained the 616. So And that's, again, just a rough estimate. That's where we're at right now. That could change over the next 2 weeks here, so. Question on ADM?
When is the fall count date? Is it up?
It's October 1st. Yep. So that's why I put this as 9:30, our attendance rate the day before that, so, yep. Okay, next we can look at our budget history and what's happened over the last, since 2020 in our various funds. Again, this is the budget. This is what we're asking the state, what we can spend in those accounts. It just doesn't mean that we're getting this money from the state. We're asking the state if we can spend these amounts of money. And you can see it steadily increased from 2020 to 2025. Education fund remained the same in 24 to 25. And then you can see our operations fund actually went down. Our budgeted amount was less. And it went down because our cash balance was less in operations, so therefore we had less money to spend. Rainy day funds stayed the same again. We have more money in rainy day. This is what we're telling the state that we're going to appropriate to spend on the rainy day. So basically we could spend this money and don't have to ask for an extra appropriation. And you can see the debt service amounts have increased too from 24 to 25. Again, that's because of GeoBond and all. Any questions there? So drum roll, please. 2026, this is what we're looking at as our budget for 2026, and this is what has been posted online. It's posted on Gateway too. This is our Form 3, just to notice to taxpayers that this is how much we're requesting in our budget this year. So we're requesting, again, $500,000 in a rainy day fund to be appropriated out of the rainy day fund. We're requesting $1.6 million to be paid for debt service. We're requesting $5.7 million to be paid out of education. Now again, this doesn't mean we have to spend education. We're just asking the state that we can spend that amount. And then the $2.8 million out of operations. You probably look off on the side there, it says maximum funds to be raised. The reason why it's $0 for rainy day and $0 for education is the tax rate has nothing to do with those accounts. The SS value has nothing to do with those accounts. So we don't ask for a levy. We're funded that through our state grants and some other resources. You also look at the estimated levy percentage change. We have a percentage change in debt service. Again, this is because we have our lease bond rolling on, and we also have the estimated levy percentage change of 4%. This is something that's given to us from the DLGF. They say that this is what you can advertise, a 4% increase from your current levy. So if you look at our current levy is 1.8 million, we increased that by 4% to get 1.9, and this is all dictated by the DLGF. Do you have any questions about that?
The operations is going down for next year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The amount of money that we budgeted for operations will be decreased. Yeah. Yeah.
So sorry if you already explained it. What's a high level on why that is?
The high level why that is I think the biggest is our cash balance. Our cash balance has decreased over time. That's one of the reasons why. The other reason why is I mean, that's the main reason why.
Okay.
We just don't have as much. We had a higher cash balance before, and we don't have it.
Okay.
Some of the legislative changes in the state impacted that as well, correct?
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily cut us, but it kept us from raising.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What other questions do you have?
But there's been a lot of talk about the taxes and stuff, and just to make sure everyone's clear, we're still the lowest around.
Yeah.
So everybody needs that. In case I'll forget out to anybody.
Well, and at our financial meeting the other day, I had mentioned it then, and I think it's probably good to mention it now. we're not raising the tax rate right now. That's not what we're doing. We're just talking about what they'll turn into the state. And there was some confusion on that last year amongst board members, and so I just want to clarify that that's not what this is. This isn't raising taxes.
Say that's all.
Okay, I would be remiss if I didn't point out the gentleman in the back, Bob Collington. He is the guy that came in and helped us do our budget this year. I owe him a huge amount of gratitude, and he was instrumental in doing this and explaining this to us and helping us through that process. We spent, was it 6 half days?
5 or 6.
5 or 6 half days going through the budget and working, me, Bonnie, and Bob, and it's just super instrumental, and he's going to be along with us for a while too to make sure we have things headed in the right direction. So,
Well, say, Bonnie and Jamie learned this faster than anyone else. So you can see with the gray hair, I've been teaching all the time. Their understanding, basically this budget is to get the state's approval, and then they stay out of it. Then all local control comes in. So the authority to spend $500,000, the state will give that to you because you have that in the rainy day fund. You don't have to spend it, but if you want to, then it's a local decision. And that's where you want this whole budget to be down to local decisions, not decisions being made in Indianapolis.
Thank you.
well said. Thank you. And that concludes, I think, our budget hearing.
We do have to open up. We have
Oh, sorry.
public comments on.
Sorry, that includes my portion of the budget.
So we're not gonna open the floor for any public comments, and this is just on the budget. Any public comments on the budget? Go ahead, all of you got it. Come on.
Okay, so Paul Bowdy, just to get that part of it, Southwestern Shelby County, that legal part, identifying myself. But I do want to thank Dr. Wilkins for taking the time. I came in and reviewed the budget. And to Bonnie, I know you know all those codes by heart, what everything comes down. And I know that it had to take a lot of time and effort to say, okay, this part of the education budget goes into this, and dwell down on everything. So I just want to thank Dr. Wilkins for taking the time to show me how all these numbers that are placed up here are actually broken down. What money goes to Blue River, what money goes to the HVAC system, what money goes to the field house, and just how breaking it all down, and I just appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And now we have to open the floor for public comment on the CPF and the bus replacement plan. Any takers on that? Hearing none, and now we'll adjourn the budget meeting and move on to our regular meeting.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. All order as well. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right, we have, thank you everyone for coming tonight, appreciate it. We have, Mr. Tyndall's gonna, report on students of the month.
All right, I got a couple students of the month for the month of August. I want to start out with our student of the month for junior high, and that is John Patrick Haynes. You want to stand right there, I'll get a picture, okay. And then our high school student of the month is McKenna Waltz. You guys want to stand there and face me, please? You didn't get your hair.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Perfect. All right, thank you guys. Thank you. And I have one more. one of our students, Corbin McQuarrie, he's a senior, was acknowledged at Blue River as a student of the month in his, I can't remember what program he's in, but for his program.
Auto
So,
collision, I think.
auto collision. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, so I want to give him a round of applause as well.
All right, agenda modifications, we have none, so now we move on to public comments.
Open floor to public comment. Go ahead. You can skip the introduction on that.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I want to congratulate Coach Meredith for his 100 wins. I think he's now at 101, but congratulations, that's an awesome accomplishment. The second thing that I want to mention is I walk a lot up and down my road, and when the school bus was coming home, one of our neighbors got off the bus and he started yelling at me, Mr. Paul, looky what I got. And he was holding up an award, a Spartan Way award. I mentioned it to Beth, and it was something that, it was an elementary student, and it was something that he very much needed and appreciated, and he was so excited to get that award. So I just want to mention that these awards that get out, especially on the elementary side of it, really, really, really has a strong meaning to the kids. So I appreciate that. The next thing, I missed last week's budget meeting on Thursday, and I missed it because I just didn't look at it. Now, I probably look at the school's website as much as anybody. I look at it a couple times a week, and I missed it right there. It's just like the notice to the taxpayers was under the board area, which was in a whole different area for postings on there. And I would just like to comment, I would like to see, we present a lot of information on the Facebook page and about all kinds of things, that see if we could post the meetings and things of that nature also on the Facebook page. Because I think there's too many times they get hidden, or there may only be posted like with a 2-day notice. And if you're not looking specifically for those items, we don't see them on the website versus being able to see them on the Facebook page. Because I see the Facebook page, I get notifications on the Facebook page, but I don't get notifications on the school website.
Yep.
So I would appreciate that being taken into consideration.
Thank you.
Any other takers? Hearing none.
Okay, we'll move on to consent items and claims. We need approval of minutes of the previous meeting.
Any discussion on that?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
All set. All those in favor? 7.
Next, we need also approval of accounts payable vouchers. They're in your board packet.
Questions, comments?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor? 7.
You have in your packet the financial report and cafeteria account report. There's no approval needed. Do you have any questions about anything there? Okay. We'll move on to new business. We have a lot of donations and grants, which is awesome. It's great. So I'm gonna do all these together if you're okay with that.
Yep.
So we're gonna do, first we have donation from Mount Auburn Christian Church, amount of $50 for the Spartan Food Pantry. Donation from Mount Pisgah Baptist Church in the amount of $1,866 for the high school FCA. Donation from Wilkins Home Improvement, that's not me, in the amount of $547 for varsity soccer warm-ups. We have a donation from Shelby County Farm Bureau in the amount of $250 for FFA. Donation from an anonymous donor in the amount of $226 for FFA. Donation from Varner and Trevowittis in the amount of $50 for the Spartan Food Pantry. Donation from Runabaum Construction in the amount of $200 for Southwestern Athletics. Donation from Chris and Kylie King in the amount of $200 for Southwestern Athletics. Donation from Flat Rock Ag Supply in the amount of $300 for Southwestern Athletics. And then a donation of an ice cream machine valued at $1,500 from Ice Pot.
So, I think my question, I mean, it's not really a question, just that the anonymous underwriters know people will not accept anonymous donations. It's good.
I have a comment. I'm just gonna clarify the 3 donations to Southwestern Athletics there, just so that people aren't questioning like where that went. That is all for Pink Out Night. Those are sponsors that donated money to purchase the supplies for Pink Out Night. So I don't want everybody to be like, hey, where'd that money go? That's Pink Out Night.
So how do you know that?
Because Allie Fix and I are running Pink Out Night.
There you go.
So, shameless plug, September 22nd, volleyball games, Pink Out Night, be there.
Can I mention something?
Yes.
Real quick. Thank you to the board members for being up for a pie in the face kind of situation.
It's a roll. It's a roll of dice.
Cut it in 7 pieces.
It's a gentle pie.
I know it's a general pie in the face, but I did ask Blake if we could cut the pie in 7 pieces. So we're not showing favoritism.
Well, I turned my face, figured you could clean up there.
It took a few of us a while to reply yes.
All right, look for approval on the donations. Make a motion. We got a motion. All second. All those in favor? 7-0.
Next, we have a recommendation to approve the fourth graders to go to the Flat Rock YMCA camp in St. Paul for an overnight trip on April 1st, starting on April 1st and come back April 2nd.
Any questions, comments?
Just a quick question on this one. A couple concerns of the overnight for the 4th graders was brought to me, and a thought or consideration of an alternate if they didn't want to stay overnight or partially participate in the activities. Just that alternate is made available, and considered to be an excused alternate, whether they're still in the school here or however that needs to be worked out.
We've already discussed those options, that we're going to make options available for folks. So.
Oh, I didn't need to hear the options tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you, we discussed that there will be options. We've discussed that tonight, so yeah.
I want to say thank you for bringing this as an option. I would have loved for my child to get this opportunity. I went on this field trip myself, and it is the only time that I have ever in my life rock climbed. So if I ever need that skill, it's kind of still in there.
Volunteers like me.
Like to have rock climb. Well, I'll probably fall. But I think it's nice for kids that don't get the opportunities to learn how to fish and learn how to do archery and rock climbing and things that a lot of kids never get the opportunity to do. And so I love it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So I've gone on this field trip both as a parent and as an educator. And I had a student one year, and she was wheelchair bound. And the YMCA made this field trip possible for her. They brought in equipment to where she was able to rock climb, and she was able to do archery. She had never fully been able to participate in a field trip ever. And as a 4th grader, she finally got to have the entire experience. And it was
outstanding.
And I will always remember it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you to everybody who's putting it together. I think
We do have a 4th grade
awesome.
teacher here. Mr. Barlow, bless your heart.
This is Brittany's idea. I'm not sure.
You passed the buck.
We thought it might be an April Fool's Day show.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. Any other discussions, questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Second. All right, all those in favor? 7-0.
Who's second?
Dale.
Oh.
Good.
Okay, next we, approval to post an additional appropriation publication. So we need an additional appropriation to be allocated out of our education fund for some of the expenses that we've incurred this year. A large portion of that is some of the curriculum that we purchased. So we're actually asking for an additional appropriation of $900,000 coming out of our education fund. You don't have to vote on that tonight, it's just approval to post that. We will vote on that in the next board meeting in October. This is, again, when Mr. Coddington spoke earlier about asking, keeping the state out of it, where we don't have to ask for permission to do things. This is an example of something that we have to ask for because we didn't budget for that amount correctly, so.
So you need a motion to approve posting.
To approve posting, yep.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve posting.
Second? All right, all those in favor? So,
Should in your board packet also have a copy of the 25-26 school year fundraisers that were listed there. Just needed approval to do those school year fundraisers. But you can see the high school portion is rather large because of the athletic contests and so many other things that we have going on there, so.
I make a motion to approve. Second? All those in favor? Sum it up.
Next, we have approval of payment to Big Bend Builders in the amount of $33,102.41 for the roofing project that is now finished, and they've gotten their, I think they have everything out of here now, so.
Is this final?
I'm not getting the final payment yet. I don't know if it is yet, but I can find out for you guys. Yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah.
It did, I couldn't find it.
All right. Then I get a motion to
So,
approve.
just real quick, so everything's cleaned up, trash is gone, supplies are gone, tools are gone, dumpsters are gone, equipment's gone, people are gone.
I didn't look out there today to see if the porta potties are gone. They were along the fence out there, but I'll make sure that they're gone. Okay.
Because I believe as I looked at the payout, this was the final.
Okay.
Did Tecton and you guys do a final punch and walk? Or?
I was gonna
Yes.
ask that.
Yep, we did. There were a couple things that we noticed, they went up and fixed it, now we're good, so.
So you feel everything's covered?
I do.
And
I do.
Architect walked it? Or
What's that?
The architect walked it?
I don't think the architect walked it, Dustin walked it with him from Tecton, and he pointed some things out, and they actually had the, the supplier that supplies the roofing items, they went up there too to make sure that it fell within the warranty and everything checked out, so I think we're a good spot.
Okay, I think typically you get a warranty certificate type from the vendor, does that sound right?
I don't have a warranty certificate, but I'll get one.
It'll
That's
probably be
what
in
we
the
need to
final paperwork for Tecton.
Okay. Good.
I'll make a motion to approve the final payment to Big Building Builders, not final payment.
This payment.
We hope to be.
Hope to be final payment.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Sum it up.
Next, we need to appoint board members for bargaining a master agreement. This is our contract agreement with the Teachers Association, so anyone interested in being a part of that?
What does that entail? Is it more of just a, like watching?
Eyes and ears for the board, yeah, watching, yep.
How many do you
Yep.
need?
Usually two.
In the past, I think it's been 2. I don't know that it's set in stone. I think we have to have at least 1.
What days or what time?
We haven't set the times of when we're gonna meet to do negotiations, so,
It's typically right after school.
yeah. It's
Usually.
generally, yeah,
Afternoon.
yeah, it's afternoons, yeah.
I did not do it the last time. I will volunteer myself if that's okay with people. If they trust me to do that.
There's one.
If you need to, we'll do it.
There's two. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
It's not a bad time commitment, but you do have to work with.
Okay. Looks like we need a motion for Blake and Darrell to be appointed to that.
I'll make a motion for Blake and Darrell to be appointed.
With no hesitation, he said.
Second.
All those in favor?
I don't do those.
Sum it up. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You can move, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, too. We don't have any reports and presentations tonight, because I think I presented, the budget hearing already, so we're gonna move on to personnel now. Leaves and resignations. Can I do the resignations together? Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
So we have resignation of Daniel Helton from spellball coach for the school year, and resignation of Anna Ramsey as elementary part-time custodian this year as well.
For a motion there.
Make motion to approve those resignations?
One second.
All those in favor? 7-0.
Next, we have recommendations to hire. I'm gonna do these all together too. Recommend to hire Chloe Ferris as a long-term sub for Mrs. Woolery. Recommend to hire Casey Nicholson as special ed instructional assistant at the high school, and recommend approval of Nicole Mays to cover maternity leave as well. As you can see, two of those have already started, so.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there any difference in substitute for long-term substitute? Is there any different qualifications than just a normal substitute?
So a long-term sub, we like to try to find someone who has a teaching license or an emergency license. And if they do, then they get paid sub pay for the first 15 days. And after that, they get paid their daily rate, which is basically, generally it's a new teacher contract divided by 184 days. So 46.5 divided by 184, and that's their daily rate. So, but it's sub pay for the first 15 days and then moves into that. So, yeah.
What, is there a certain time frame where it's considered a long-term sub?
After 15 days, it's
Just
generally
15
considered
days,
a long-term sub.
Consecutive.
Yeah.
In the same class, right? Same classroom?
Yeah, same classroom, yep. Yeah. It's like a person can cover 15 days in one classroom and consecutively go in another classroom, and they're not a long-term sub because it's two different jobs. Good point.
Not technicality, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor? 7-0.
All right, on to superintendent comments. Paul, you stole my thunder. Taylor Meredith, congratulations to him on his 100th win. Great job. That was a really cool night because what I thought was neat is that he was out there, his family was there, students were supporting, but he had a lot of former athletes that were there that were congratulating him and supporting him, which I know meant a lot to him. And I know he would tell you that his accomplishment is dictated by the athletes that he's had in the past and kids that have participated and just meant a lot. I think he's a great guy, did a great job, has done a great job with the team. It was cool to see some recognition out there that night for it. He got a nice plaque that we ordered as well, so great job. So there's that. I also want to talk real quick about district goals. So just so everyone knows that we did set our district goals at we talked about our district goals of achieving a 48% on iLearn and English language arts and a 45% on iLearn and math. And right now we're close. We're a lot closer this year after we took the test. We're at 46.3% in English language arts. So we want to get up to a 48%. And we're at 42.7 right now in math, and we want to raise that to a 45%. So that's what we're looking at as far as our district goals that we want to achieve over these next 3 years here. Hopefully sooner rather than later. So also want to talk about Pink Out Night. We already talked about that on September 22nd here. I will be in the dunk tank. So looking forward to that. Hopefully I don't have an injury like I did in donkey bounce.
Hopefully it's not cold.
Hopefully it's not cold.
It will be.
Yeah, hopefully it's 95 degrees.
I can give you.
I don't even know who else is in the dunk tank, but I know I am.
Jason West is the first one.
Okay, there you go. Get her
So,
early.
big money there. Gotta get there in the first 15 minutes.
Did I sign up for the dunk tank?
You did. Well, you signed up for Pink Out Night. I've got you down, so.
Okay, well, someone passed around the thing.
Oh, so you're also
I'll say if you
community
can give
night.
it a day.
Yeah,
Nice.
I signed up for it twice.
Thank you for your volunteer service. And then the last one, who's the last one I have in there? Oh, Tyler Phillips.
Sign up.
Starts at 6?
Yes.
6? Okay,
Silent auction,
Yep.
games,
great.
face painting,
Good
hair
deal.
tinsel, plugging it. All the money goes to the Shelby County Cancer Association.
And then also I want to mention Community Night coming up on September 19th. We have a lot of great things out there that night. We will have, us as a district will have a table where we're going to hand out some information about Southwestern, our strategic plan, some of our accomplishments over the last year. And look forward to that, and just looking forward to that evening. So, and that's all I have for my superintendent comments.
Sarah? No comment.
I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. It was a pretty decent crowd over here. But I also want to say there are multiple donors to the silent auction sitting out here, so thank you, thank you, thank you. September 22nd.
Nothing for me.
All good.
Thank you everybody for coming. Congratulations, Taylor. Thank you again for all the hard work with the field trip. And we'll adjourn. We're gonna have a work session at 6. Right? What?